So how long have you been in the business, Dan?
Well, I've been doing this about 13 years. Um, Enough time to know that I learn something new every day.
Every day? 13 years, and you're still
yeah.
learning something new.
I learn something new every week at least. I mean, on a different job. There's always some little small nuance to something that you're always learning.
I think it was like 2 years ago you were telling me a story about the paint, some sort of paint, like they changed the paint now.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like even the paint is changing.
Oh, yeah.
So what can you tell me about that?
Well, there's a lot of things changing in the paint industry. One of them is the federal government is trying to get rid of oil-based paint, for one thing. So they're trying to make, an oil-based paint has certain qualities to it that a latex paint does not have.
Okay.
And so they're trying to find ways to make latex paint that would have the durability and the hard surface and the glossiness that a oil-based paint has.
Okay.
And they're coming closer to that, but they still have oil-based paints out there, and they're very, very good. Another thing that's changing is there's a new paint. They're trying to get paints that are easier to touch up. In other words, a year from now, you paint a room. A year from now, someone marks a wall with a pencil, and so you want to touch that up. Well, in the past, if you took, say, an eggshell sheen,
which is very popular
sheen,
Okay.
and because it's washable and yet not too glossy, but you have an eggshell sheen. Every coat you put on it gets a little bit glossier. So you can never touch it up, because even though it's the exact same can, if I touch this spot here,
Really?
the spot around it only has 2 coats on it. This now has 3 coats on it, and it'll be glossier.
And so you can tell the difference, and then
Yes.
you know it's been touched up.
So there's a new paint out. Benjamin Moore carries it, and it's expensive at this point because it's new, but you can touch it up, and you cannot tell it.
Well,
But
and the idea of being able to touch up, because then you can save money. You don't have to keep painting the whole thing all over again.
And the neat part about this paint, I mean, they've done their homework. I mean, it covers better. You can paint over a red paint in 2 coats. Absolutely phenomenal.
With the new color.
With
so
this
bright red turning to eggshell, you could do it in 2 coats.
2 coats, and it's incredible stuff. It also is very washable, and but it's hard to paint with though. It's got a particular. It's not like normal paint. You got to kind of get used to using it. So that was the challenge when it first came out: is how do I use this and make it look good? You know, keep my quality of my quality up and still have a good quality product. So those are some things that happen in the paint industry.